dual crowns, an internal rotating bezel, an automatic movement, and Lume, that's hard to miss. Welcome to the Bernie Watch channel. Today we're taking a closer look at the AM339M. This is a classic compressor-style dive watch with a distinctive look and plenty of character. It's also one of the most popular dive watches in our current lineup. And if you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps us understand what you'd like to see next. Let's start with the unboxing. The AM339M comes in a black carbon fiber textured box, which is the packaging we most commonly use for our men's watches. It may not be the kind of box that's eye-catching, but it's sturdy, practical, and does exactly what it needs to do. And here it is. When your watch arrives, it'll normally be protected with additional cushioning during shipping, so it should arrive well protected. As usual, there's a card with our contact information, so if you have any questions or feedback, we'd love to hear from you. All of our watches come with a 1-year quality warranty. And here's the instruction manual. It covers the basics of how to operate an automatic watch. If this is your first mechanical watch, it's actually worth keeping around as a handy reference. The watch we're looking at today is the black version on the silicone strap, but we've also brought along the blue and green variants for comparison. And of course, there's also a stainless steel bracelet option. Now here's a question for you. What's your first impression when you see this watch? Let us know down in the comments. For us, 2 words come to mind: modern and energetic. At first glance, the watch clearly follows the classic compressor-style dive watch formula, with its dual screw-down crowns and internal rotating bezel. At the same time, the overall design takes a distinctly contemporary approach. We introduce softer curves, larger geometric elements, and bold blocks of color, giving the watch a fresher, more energetic character. Rather than leaning into a vintage aesthetic, it offers a much more contemporary interpretation of the compressor style. The dot and capsule-shaped hour markers, the broad sword hands, and the bold numerals on the internal bezel all contribute to a look that feels sporty, playful, and full of energy. But these choices weren't made purely for aesthetics. At its core, the dial is built around one clear priority: legibility. We moved away from vintage-inspired tones and intentionally opted for a vivid safety orange paired with a restrained black and white palette. This creates a stronger sense of contrast and gives the dial a much more immediate visual impact. The orange isn't just there for decoration. In dive watch design, a high-visibility color like this is often used to highlight key functional areas, improving readability at a glance. You'll notice that the internal bezel only features markings for the first 15 minutes. We've also removed unnecessary visual clutter, leaving behind larger, uninterrupted blocks of color and cleaner negative space. The finishing is also doing a lot of the work here. The dial itself features a matte black surface, so to create contrast, we introduced a finely polished ring along the outer edge. This creates a subtle frame that naturally draws the eye toward the center of the watch. Meanwhile, the case is mostly finished with a brushed texture rather than full polishing, helping maintain a more rugged, purposeful character in line with a proper tool watch. The same approach continues on the side of the case, with polished chamfered edges on the lugs, brushed case flanks, and 2 polished crowns. Together, this mix of finishing gives the watch a more dynamic, multi-layered metallic character from every angle. As for durability, we use a 316L stainless steel case with sapphire crystal on both the front and the exhibition caseback. This ensures solid scratch resistance and long-term clarity, maintaining a clean look over time. Now, let's talk about sizing and wearability. This isn't a small watch, but it's far from a monster on the wrist. It comes in at 42 millimeters in diameter, 13 millimeters thick, with a 49 millimeters lug-to-lug and a 22 millimeters lug width. The silicone version weighs around 113 grams. It's not particularly heavy for an automatic dive watch. The strap was designed specifically for this case. It features a natural curvature that allows it to flow seamlessly from the lugs, helping the watch sit more integrated on the wrist from the very beginning. If you prefer switching straps, it can be replaced with a bit of patience and the right tool. The strap includes 11 adjustment holes, allowing it to fit wrist sizes from around 5.9 to 7.8 inches. On a wrist measuring around 6.89 inches, you'll still have several holes left. So there's plenty of strap remaining. It's soft, flexible, and conforms naturally to the wrist. What about the stainless steel bracelet? It fits wrists up to approximately 7.5 inches, and just like the case, it combines brushed and polished surfaces to create a bit more visual interest. It's made from solid stainless steel, giving it a reassuring sense of weight on the wrist. Once sized properly, it feels secure and well balanced. The clasp setup is nicely done as well. We've got a fold-over safety clasp here with a polished flip lock section on top. You get 3 micro adjustment positions inside the clasp, and if further sizing is needed, there are 8 removable links that can be taken out using standard bracelet tools. For many watch enthusiasts, the movement is where the real fascination begins. The watch features a display caseback with a sapphire crystal window, allowing a clear view of the movement inside. Powering the watch is the Miyota 8215, a widely recognized automatic movement featuring a 3-hand layout with a date display, supporting both automatic and manual winding. For a tool watch like this, the Miyota 8215 was an easy choice, thanks to its proven reliability and long-term durability. Here we also have a standalone view of the movement. The balance wheel is clearly visible in motion, while most of the gear train is covered by bridges. The layout is fairly industrial, with minimal open work or decorative finishing. It uses a unidirectional winding system, meaning the rotor only winds the movement in one direction. This helps keep the overall construction simple, which makes it easier to maintain over the long term. From the dial side, we can see the date wheel. The crown has 3 positions. In its default position, the movement can be manually wound. Pull the crown out to the first position, and you can adjust the date. Pull it out one step further, and you're able to set the time. It also supports hacking seconds, allowing the seconds hand to stop when setting the time. That makes it easy to synchronize the watch precisely to a reference time. Now, let's take a look at real-world accuracy. According to Miyota's specifications, the movement uses 21 joules, beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and offers approximately 42 hours of power reserve when fully wound. Its stated accuracy range is around -20 to +40 seconds per day. After assembly, we perform an additional round of testing and regulation, even though the movement has already been adjusted at the factory. As you can see, the sample watch performs noticeably better than the baseline factory tolerance. Now, let's move on to one of the defining features of any dive watch, the rotating bezel. We've opted for an internal bezel rather than an external one. This makes it less likely to be accidentally knocked out of position, while also helping to maintain a cleaner, more integrated case design. To operate it, simply unscrew the crown at 2 o'clock. The bezel can then be rotated in both directions. It's smooth and fluid with no clicks or defined steps. It's a stepless internal rotating bezel, which means it can be set to any position you like. Next, let's take a look at the Lume. So let's turn the lights off. Honestly, it looks even more colorful and striking in person than it does on camera. We chose a combination of green, blue, and orange. The inspiration comes from deep sea bioluminescence and navigation lights. It ties back to the diving theme while also making key areas of the dial easier to distinguish in low light. The hour markers glow green with a double capsule marker at 12 o'clock. That makes it easy to instantly orient the watch in the dark. The hour hand is green as well. Meanwhile, the minute hand and the bezel marker use a brighter safety orange lume, making elapsed time easier to track. And then there's the lume's second hand. It might seem unnecessary at first, but it actually serves an important purpose. In low light conditions, it lets you know the watch is still running. As with any lume, it performs best after a full charge under direct sunlight or UV light. Under normal indoor lighting, the glow simply won't be as bright. Moving on to water resistance. Rated to 20 ATM, this watch is more than capable of handling swimming and most everyday water activities. For most people, that simply means peace of mind. You can wear it in the rain while washing your hands or at the pool without giving it a second thought. Before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at the other color options. We offer 3 colors: black, green, and blue. Even though the design is exactly the same, each colorway has its own personality. And if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. This is our first watch review, and we wanted to share it from the perspective of the people who design and build the watch. Hopefully, it offers another way of looking at it. Beyond its specifications, materials, and features, we'd also like to share some of the thinking behind the design. Some design choices involve far more consideration than they might appear to at first glance. Others really are as simple as, we think this looks better. Of course, we don't expect everyone to agree with every design choice. We're grateful for genuine compliments, and we value thoughtful criticism just as much. Today, watches are about more than telling time. They're personal, and everyone values something different. That's why we truly welcome different opinions and perspectives, so let us know what you think about the AM339M in the comments below. And if there's another BERNY model you'd like us to review, we'd love to hear that as well. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.